take longer to have a forensic auditor be separate? Why couldn't they be done at the same time?
Well, they could, and in fact, I don't, in what's been put together here, I think that it could be done at the same time. What I meant to say, what I did say in fact, was that if we are capable or have the authority to put out an RFP for a forensic audit, we're going to have to go through a lot of the same steps we're going to have to go through the annual audit. We're going to have to put together the RFP, we're going to have to issue it, we're going to have to give people time to respond to it, we're going to have to qualify them, we're going to have to make a recommendation, we're going to have to go to the board of finance and say, this is the firm that we believe is best suited to do a forensic audit. So that's the part that I'm saying is going to take essentially the same amount of time as what we had for the first.
I'm sorry, the same amount of time? Are you saying, a few minutes ago, you said that having two separate firms do it would take longer. And we can look at the tape. So I'm questioning that. What? And you're saying that it's because you'd have to write two separate RFPs.
To clarify, I guess, I didn't say the forensic audit would take longer, the process of choosing one.
How much longer?
Why?
You don't want to do
Have
it?
two
What's that
committees.
based on? You're just making up facts.
This is like the $80,000
Have you hired these people
question.
before and you know this to be a fact? Or are you just making these things up?
Sir, what was wrong with what I just said? The process. I'm not saying it's perfect, but that's the general process. That's the process in general that we're talking about right here.
It's because you're
In
sandbagging.
general, if you have parallel processes, it's likely that one of them will finish faster than if you have one monolithic process.
And it's also just as likely that they could end at this very same time.
Yeah, you could.
One question, when is the annual audit due, generally?
By May 3rd.
It's due, no, to start, May 3rd, but when is it filed? When is the report filed by the annual auditor?
November 3rd?
December 31st, that's right. Why would the annual auditor file its, if it decided somewhere along the way in that long process of over 6 months, why would it be able to do its forensic audit earlier if the forensic audit is something that's going to come up as they learn more and more? Do you have any reason to believe the forensic audit would be available before December 31st, or would it be filed at the same time?
What Mike just said was we put in a separate deadline, but I think that we would hire them right away to investigate, for instance, the allegations in the affidavit with respect to community services. How long that would take, to be honest, I just don't know. To the extent that other things come up in the operations audit and they instruct us that an area should be looked into, then we will potentially do that, and that may take some time too. Does that answer your question?
Well, it conflicts with something that was said earlier, but it answers the question.
Sorry.
I'd also like to point out that the affidavits also include the director of the finance department. We keep talking about how we'd look at community services first, but as many of the people in the audience have pointed out, the leader of the PAC is one of the people who's been indicted or arrested. So I think you shouldn't keep saying all the time, just community services, that's where we'll point our guns. You need to look at the peak of the pyramid where all of the issues focus.
Anyone else?
I have one last comment. If you want to show that you care about openness and transparency in North Haven, you will have on your next agenda an item before your adjournment that says that you will take questions from the audience. If we come back next week and we don't see that item in the agenda before the adjournment, we will take that as a message that you, as the leader of the subcommittee, do not believe in transparency for North Haven.
Thanks. Okay. Thank you all for coming. I'm sure we'll see you all next week.
Mr. Peterson, I was just curious to ask you if you do still support a forensic audit for the town of North Haven?